Welcome to BeerAmerican.tv. I am Paul Leone with
John Pinkerton.
And where are we, John Pinkerton?
We are in the brew house at Moon River Brewing Company.
Kind of your second home.
My lair.
Your lair. That's right, we've talked about that. Your Wookiee hair and the lair. We've all had conversations.
Going way back.
Way back.
To some early episodes there.
And generally, one of us, whether David Little is with us or not, or you or me, we bring beers to the table that we tend to like or whatever. You have a beer that you brought to the table.
Indeed. In a sense, I didn't bring it to the table. Our friend Bobby Bush.
Oh, okay.
Who freelances and in particular writes for Celebrator Beer News, brought this as a gift. And I hope it doesn't seem like I'm re-gifting here, but this is from the Lost Abbey.
There you go.
Some of you are familiar with the works of Tomme Arthur, with his previous work at Pizza Port in California, and continued work, really. What's interesting about the Lost Abbey is that the way the story works is that Pizza Port had gained a lot of, ooh, that sounded nice. Pizza Port had gained a lot of ground over the years, largely to Tommy's work and his fellow brewers with Pizza Port. And what they decided to do was to create a production brewery that would help supply the demand at these pubs, the Pizza Port pubs. And in addition, they sort of used the opportunity to kind of spin off a whole other brand. And some of these brands that have are beers that have come as a result of the Lost Abbey brand are some of the beers that he helped make famous at Pizza Port as well. So they kind of shifted them, if you will. And so at Port Brewing Company, which is housed in the old Stone Brewing Company facility. Okay. Stone's now moved to a new facility. They're brewing both port, the Pizza Port beers and the Lost Abbey beers. So that was quite a mouthful, but I think I got it out there. So we've been really looking forward to this. Thanks, Bobby, for bringing this as a gift, and I hope we can sort of spin it off as a way to also promote Lost Abbey as well.
So it's the Avant Garde Ale.
Indeed, and he's sort of done a play with words there. The idea is that like beer de garde and is
something worth keeping.
Or you're just going to read the label, aren't you?
Sorry, well, no, I was gonna. You knew what you were talking about. I'm reading the label, so I was just going to kind of feed you the line.
Well, it's sort of a it's sort of a play on the whole idea of lagering. It's you know you're going to store it, you're going to keep it for some time and let it age.
Let it age well.
Ripen, if you will.
Ripen, excellent. Better with time.
So here we are. Look at that.
The color seems to be like a tweener to me, almost. You know, nice and clear, but yeah, I don't know. Like it's a golden color, but I wouldn't call it a Pilsner color. I would call it
rich, kind of orange,
like,
copper.
Right, like a little bit of copper, and it's pretty. It's
I
really
almost
pretty.
caught myself putting the pinky out.
Really?
Tommy, look what you're doing to me, man.
Wow, what am I smelling?
I get a lot of honey-like notes there, right off the line. Oh, this is lovely.
Yeah.
I'm glad we let it warm up a bit, too. Because straight out of the cooler, I think it would have muted a lot of that character. Yeah, for a beer that is probably fairly significant in alcohol content. Oh, it's only 7%. That's not too... I was going to say that if it is a high alcohol beer, the alcohol is pretty well integrated. But at 7%, that's...
I taste a little honey characteristic to it.
Malt, also.
Yep, malty.
I think you also get some distinct yeast characteristics there. And that's probably where the honey characteristic is coming from, honestly.
Now, an Avant Garde Ale, what does it mean by ale? I mean, is it just an ale is an ale, or is it an ale? Or, I mean, is it a Belgian? I mean, it's not a Belgian, right?
Well, it's a Belgian style.
A Belgian style,
ale.
Okay.
Do you want me to just like dive into the whole ale?
Well,
versus
no, I mean
thing
not too in depth. I guess I just wasn't sure, having known nothing about this until we just started recording this. I didn't know if this was a Belgian or if it was something different.
Tommy's really made his mark by making some outstanding examples of Belgian style beers. A lot of the awards he's won have been Belgian style beers in particular. He's well noted for his aged beers, barrel stuff, sour beers, etc. So he's one of the go-to guys when it comes to Belgian styles.
Yeah, okay.
And he really nails it.
And the reason why I ask is because I was wondering if there were characteristics in this that, I don't know, whether it's yeast or something that you're tasting, because it reminded me of something pretty common in most Belgian ales. What would that be?
Well, a lot of times when we talk about the Belgian ales, we're talking about phenols. I'm not getting overwhelming phenol here. Mm-hmm. If there is phenol here, it's fairly subtle. Mm-hmm. There is definitely an unmistakable kind of Belgian quality to
right,
this.
Sure. And I guess maybe that's what I'm...
Honestly, it's a little bit beguiling. I'm not sure what to put my finger on here.
It seems like the last series of beers that we've done, they've been so unique in nature that it just sort of like, this is a little different than I've ever had before. And I think this is another example of something that I can't compare it to.
Yeah,
and that's
I'm not
not
sure.
a bad thing.
I'm also nowhere near being an expert on Belgian beers. It's just not one of the style areas that I've really spent a whole lot of time with. So I can't speak with a great degree of authority on this, but I think it's a nicely made beer.
Yeah.
From a technical standpoint, I taste this and I'm getting all the right things going on here. To me, this is a beer that would definitely go really nicely with a lot of different foods.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And I don't know.
It's great. I mean, that's the beauty of I think of all these beers that we go through. We've done, gosh, this is probably we're in the close to the a lot of blogs that we've done about beer, video blogs, and
vlogs.
A lot of them have been different, in style, and that's been the beauty of the whole thing. Liked most of them, really liked most of them. A few of them were okay, but the fact that I didn't love them made the whole experience okay because it's something I'd never had before, and that's kind of what I'm getting back to is that try them all.
Indeed.
I mean, don't
variety is the spice of life.
Yeah, and all of these beers, just try them. If you don't like them, then you don't like them, but you won't know until you try it. So,
indeed,
try this one.
Yeah, you won't be seeing this one around here probably anytime soon. But boy, if you get a chance to travel to California, be sure to check out the Lost Abbey.
The Lost Abbey.